Hey, this is Mad Movie Mark on the Mad Movie Mark Movie Review. Thank you for joining me as I review the 1927 drama romance with synchronized sound, Sunrise, A Song of Two Humans. Hey, no wait, there's no reason to get upset. This is going to be a good review, right? We're only going to say positive things about this movie because it is considered to be the greatest silent film of all time. If this is the first time you are joining this channel, I am reviewing all the movies on this 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die list. I am told that this is the most updated edition of the book. I don't know exactly what edition it is. I don't see that anywhere, but it is apparently the most updated. Now, this movie was directed by F.W. Murnau. This was his American film debut. He also directed a little film called Nosferatu and The Last Laugh, which are both on this list in this book as well. This movie stars Janet Gaynor as the wife, George O'Brien as the man, and Margaret Livingston as the woman from the city. So thank you very much for making that incredibly easy for me to remember and for me to reference. The easier the better for me, I always say. This movie won the Academy Award for Best Unique and Artistic Picture and also Best Actress in a Leading Role for Gaynor. Now, Wings also won that year. There was a two categories for Best Picture, I guess, and retroactively they gave the Best Picture award only to Wings and not to Sunrise. So it looks like they took it away from Sunrise and it's no longer considered to be a Best Picture winner. I've never seen Wings, but I am told that this was considered a travesty because Sunrise is considered to be one of the greatest movies ever made. So once again, the Oscars makes a mistake. Who would have thought, right? That's why I don't watch the Oscars anymore. A lot of people have done this challenge where they watch all the Best Picture winners. I have absolutely no drive to do that because a lot of them I don't like anyway. So the synopsis for this movie is pretty simple. There's this woman from New York who's not New York, woman from the city who's vacationing in this small town, and she meets the man and they end up having an affair together. Now, the wife does not know about the affair. The wife has a child, so the man and the wife have a very young child together. They've been married, but it seems like he is no longer excited about his marriage. He's no longer happy with his marriage, so he begins an affair with this lady from out of town. Now, one day when they're just frolicking in the grass together, she suggests that he should murder his wife so that they can be together forever. And she even says, like, you can go out on a boat and you can just kind of like beat her with a paddle and push her over the boat, and then you can survive, and then we can be together forever. So you can tell he's not into this idea. Like, he really doesn't want to do it, but he gets his wife on the boat anyway, and they go out into the water, and he menacingly walks up to her, creeps up to her, and he's getting ready to do it, and she's cowering in fear because she at this point knows what's going on and she can see what's going to happen, and he can't do it. He decides he cannot kill her. He doesn't have it in him. He still loves her. This isn't something that he wants to do. She runs away like you would expect because like she's afraid for her life. She's in fear that she was just going to be killed. He runs after her, and then basically the rest of the movie is them discovering their love for each other all over again. He basically says, please don't be afraid of me, and throughout the movie they have fun with each other, they laugh with each other, they go to like a carnival, they go and have I think their pictures taken, they go to like a barber shop together, they just spend this day together and they rekindle the love that they have for each other. They fall in love all over again. Now, there are instances in this movie, especially like I think at the barber shop, where he is approached by a woman for a manicure and she has this dread inside of her that he's going to try to hit on this woman and that he's going to try to have some sort of relationship with this woman. You can tell there's this fear on her face that she's going to lose him and that he's going to cheat on her. But he decides not to do that. Now, later on in the movie, they're having this great life together. They have rekindled their love, and they're out on a boat again. This is after they go to this carnival, but on the boat there's this big thunderstorm, and there's just wind blowing and rain coming down, and the waves are terrible, and they're batting them back and forth, and she ends up falling off the boat, and he can't find her. He's frantically looking for her. He doesn't know where she's at, and he goes to get help, and the help comes, and they see like what they think she might have been floating on, and she's not on it. So of course he fears the worst, that she's died, and this isn't what he wanted, and this is almost like how it was supposed to play out in the beginning, where she was supposed to die on a boat. And at this point, the girl from the city sees that all this is happening, and she just thinks that this is basically what they had planned out, because the wife is no longer alive on this boat, and all these like emotions that he has and this feeling of grief is just him acting it out, and he doesn't really mean it. So she embraces him because she thinks that they're gonna have this beautiful, lovely life together now that the wife is dead, and he like basically tries to beat her up essentially. Like he gets very mad and angry at her, and he goes to like smack her around a little bit, but when he goes to smack her around, before he can do it, they found his wife, and his wife is alive, and it's a very happy moment for him. And the girl from the city kind of leaves on her own way, and the man and the wife are now together. At the end of the movie, they embrace, they have their child with them, and it's this happy moment where they're together, they're in love again, they're going to continue their life as not only mother and father, but husband and wife, and that's pretty much the whole movie. I thought this movie was really good. The cinematography is probably the best cinematography I have seen so far in silent film. Maybe it will be the best cinematography that I've ever seen in silent film. I haven't watched all the movies yet, but it's going to be really hard to beat this. Now, I know in The Last Laugh, that movie was applauded for they had like this camera on a trolley system, and it was the first time a camera was ever put on a trolley. And in this movie, he kind of takes it up a step, where he has all these really great tracking shots, and they're quite amazing for the time, and you can really tell that he was honing his skill on The Last Laugh, and then he really took it up a peg, and he really figured out what he was doing, and he just brought all the stops in this movie, and it's just, cinematography is absolutely amazing. The direction is fantastic. The acting is great. Janet Gaynor was also in A Star Is Born, which I reviewed for like the 1937 version, which I reviewed on my channel as well. That movie was in color. I thought she was incredible in that movie as well. She's really good in this movie. It kind of makes me want to see more Janet Gaynor movies because of how absolutely amazing she is. I thought the acting was phenomenal. The set pieces are great. Just the ambiance of this movie is fantastic. My only really complaint with this movie is that at the beginning you're supposed to hate this guy because he's cheating on his wife. He's gonna go kill his wife, but then he's supposed to have this redemption arc in the middle, and I think at the end of the movie you're really supposed to love him and love the relationship that they're in, but I don't, and I think I'm alone here. I think I'm on an island by myself where I'm not truly in love with this relationship, even though he clearly, at the end of the movie, clearly shows that he's committed, because he had a chance to go with that lady from the city when he thought his wife was dead, and he decided not to do that. That was, if he's going to cheat and he's going to leave his wife, that was the opportunity to do it, because he thought she was dead, and he didn't do it. He remained faithful. I will say he was still very emotionally wrecked by the death of his wife, so even if he was going to cheat on her, I'm not surprised he did not choose this time to do it, because it was still very new in his head, and he was still kind of processing everything. But I think that the wife in the movie is going to live the rest of her relationship kind of in the back of her head, wondering if he's ever going to cheat on her, and wondering if he's going to have that wandering eye, and if he's going to leave her, even though he did all this to prove that he won't. Will he revert back to that, and will he eventually have that feeling where he wants to leave her again? Is she a different person, because he obviously was bored with the relationship and this rekindled his love for her, but is he just going to fall back into that again? I mean, I feel like that once you have that in you, that you want to leave and that you're going to cheat and that you're going to want to be with someone else, that doesn't leave. It might flounder for a little bit, it might dormant for a while, but it's going to eventually come back. And I really hated the fact that he has this little child, and obviously he's a brand new father, she's a brand new mother, she's going to need some help raising this kid because it's very young, and instead of owning up to that and being the great father, he says, oh, I'm bored with this, I'm gonna go cheat on my wife with this girl from the city. I don't know, it's very, I feel like at the end of the movie we're kind of giving him a lot of credit that I don't believe he deserves, and I don't think he's definitely due yet, and I'm a little nervous at the fact that it's not going to last, that he's just going to revert back to what he was. That's just, I guess, my pessimistic attitude on who he is and what I think he's going to bring to this relationship. But I still think it's a great movie. It's a very simple movie, which I enjoyed. The cinematography is phenomenal. Like I said, it's got some of the best camera shots I've seen in a silent film so far. Some of the best tracking I've seen with the camera in a movie so far. The acting is phenomenal. It's just, I think for this movie, the cinematography really is the star of this movie. If you love the love story, then that could be the star too. I wasn't a huge fan of the love story, but I think the cinematography is the star, the acting is the star, and I still give this a 9.5 out of 10. I don't think it's the best silent film that I've seen so far. I probably, if anyone's seen this movie and loved it, I'm just going to get trashed in my comment section for this, but I don't think it's the best silent film that I've seen so far. I think there are better silent films, but this is still great. I still consider this a great movie. I understand why other people consider it a great movie. It is groundbreaking in what it's doing, and it's still very well preserved, very well done. 9.5 out of 10. I hope you join me next time when I review The General, which this will be my second viewing of The General. I am incredibly excited to watch it because, spoiler alert, I absolutely love it. Thank you. Have a great day.